Not so interesting, but different.
Yeah, beautifully done.
3 varieties of ice cream.
Oh, I can smell
And they've
it
got their
from
tea.
already, have you? That looks nice. It looks like whipped cream on top.
That could be good. So we're going to do the herbs first. All around the base of the trees. First tip. Lots of butterflies on the lovely lavender, sweet smelling lavender. Just look at how things are growing properly. It's absolutely beautiful. Look at these flowers here. Isn't this just wonderful? Little blue butterfly down there. On there to all of these herbs, chard, sunflowers there. Go and have a look up these lovely butterflies up here. There's a scarce swallowtail and hummingbird on there. Look, just alone here. It's tremendous. Look at this. Isn't that? We have another swallowtail there, and the fritillaries here. Silver wash fritillary. And their runner beans are doing a lot better than mine. But they get some water, which mine don't. Let's go down and see where they keep the tomatoes, because there's usually a load of varieties of tomatoes here. Isn't it absolutely gorgeous? Look at those big teasels. And then tomatoes by the dozen. Different varieties, lines and lines and lines of them. Hops here. Amazing the way that they have done all of these weavings with hazelwood and spally on them. And black currants. I love this place. I think it's wonderful. This use of railway sleepers. A lot of work here. Straw to keep the weeds down and keep things moist. And this wonderful arena. On the smell is absolutely incredible of this lavender. There's Steve at the background. It's absolutely wonderful, and of course it's heaving with butterflies. Scarce swallowtails. So I haven't seen any ordinary swallowtails yet, they're nearly all scarce. Perhaps Ordinary swallowtails are becoming more scarce than the scarce ones. And the countryside around with the bales for late summer, early autumn. The sheer sound of the bees here, you can hear in the background all the bees on this lavender. Buzz. The rosary. And we go through towards the different flower gardens, the wildflowers here. And just look at this for painting. If you wanted to come and bring your clients painting, which is what I suspected earlier, this would be the place to bring them, wouldn't it? I mean, just look at these colours. It's magnificent. All these little touches they do, like the canes around the outside.
Oh,
I mean,
those colours are just so beautiful. Look so happy in there as well.
hostas. Huge mound of sunflowers in the middle, at least 10 foot tall. Hostas out in flower. Wonderful plethora of hostas here, all in bloom, from these little purple ones here up to the little whites in the background there. And then ferns. Again, a lovely selection of different ferns. Willows at the side, I'm sure they coppice those and use those to weave. And if you like your marrows, just look at this lot. And courgettes, and it's incredible. And then the vineyard here as well. I'm just going to sit here for a moment and take this in and rest a moment. Earlier this spring we came here and all of these cereals were then growing, which have now come to autumn. There's a few poppies just left amongst them, but we can now get close up to the harvest, if you like, here. Right, so Steve's now going to take the plunge. And
I'm the official food
chief taster, yeah, right.
If I'm still alive in 30 seconds, it's okay.
Well, that's 10, 20, but it's okay.
Oh!
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Good.
But somebody has to do it.
I know.
Unfortunately, it's the role.
you alligator. Lord, this one. Sweetie, my baby, talking to me. She saw me last night, but Mary on my knee. So come on, please, it's not what it seems. When Mary fell down, she's not very fine, just skin and bones. And I love her, she loves me. Oh, I'm happy now we can be. Making love with a navy, love with a navy on the tree. Box, box, bottom, tell me why you keep fooling, let it go again. Yeah, we go strolling. You got me rocky when I wanna be rolling. Don't you just know it? I wanna run, I wanna roll, I wanna sing my heart and soul. I wanna dance, I wanna lose, I wanna chance and dance, especially just a little bit of rock and roll. She stayed stuck in the feeling I healed. She seemed like an angel, lost in that joint. Didn't have wings, just a chant a stray song.
Oh, that's effective.
Well, look at my king, all dressed in red. Ako, Andy. Look at my band, and all in red. Giacomo Finale. Hey now, Ako, Andy. Giacomo Finale. Giacomo Finale. Talk about hey now, Ako, Andy. Giacomo Finale. Giacomo Finale. Yes, indeed, I'm talking. What I'm gonna do when I see yes, indeed, I'm talking about you and me. I'm hoping that you come out of me. How they run, Lady Madonna, lying on the bed. Listen to the music playing. See how they run.
The mill on the River Sedell. Beautifully kept.
This is lovely.
If I do this little bit down here, yeah?
Yeah.
right down on that big rock there. Now what you'll find is that this water, you get that, when the sunlight hits it, you get quite an orange brown. It's quite light. This is a lovely colour. It's quite useful. It goes for the rocks. It goes for the rocks marker there, doesn't it? And you've got
like my
that's a yellow ochre. The top of this mossy rock, you see, if you touch of green.
That's lovely, the surface of
Oh
that
yeah.
rock.
That's right.
You
Touch
can
of green.
make quite a feature of that.
So you've got this lovely strong, so we clean the greens back with a strong mossy greens here. And it's going to bring that down through there and just make these. Now this, I just put those darks in. See the effect with this one, yeah? Looking at that, and you'll be amazed the difference it will make. Right, so this is a very, very light blue. And you can just get the reflections of the water. You see how that works? So that's mid-tone as well, a little bit. Lovely effect you can get. So you start,
Light, yeah.
yep, start with a bigger brush, and then you work down to these at the end. So let's first of all, with this brush, you need to get all of these tones in the background and work out where your darks and wets are, and then you'll work up with the smaller brushes. Which I would put. Here's your brush, and I'll put these over here. So these lovely rich colours, smashing. It's going to be a smashing painting, this one. Put the textures in. So she wanted some basil. Whether they find it here or not, I'm not sure. Found what you wanted.
Seed.
Some basil. Yeah, well, is that, will there be enough?
Well, certainly, it's not.
He's a good dog, aren't you? Yes, you are. He's a good dog. Yes. Look at little chickens, look.
Right. I don't want to leave my bag up.
No, I can only advise.
Yeah.
That's right, so we've got the Moulin Frit at Elaine's in between painting. And we're coming back tonight as well, so that'd be good. Bring Steve, he'll like this place. Oh, the sun's out again. And there we go.
Bit.
Oh, some lovely passageways through, which is what you wanted, the passageways.
I looked at it earlier. It's lovely. I think it's lovely.
Well, I could paint the sunflowers, but they're only just coming out. Barely out yet.
Right.
So lasagna for them, and gratin and steak and some salad, and over there the ladyship has the same.
Salad from the garden.
That was a nice meal. Thank you very much, guys.
Yeah, very nice.
It's a nice romantic scene now with well, this is Vera's last chance to paint here in France for the moment. And we've got a funny one this morning. We've got a background that feels like Scotland, or like in the Highlands here, because the clouds come over even though it's supposed to be rain. It's quite humid and warm. I'm worried that we might get rain spots on the paintings, which won't help. Today I'm going to show you this tremendously loose way of working with the vibrant FW acrylic inks and then pastels over the top. So we're set up here, I'll show you them in just a moment. And we're going to, they thought we'd love the landscape of these big clouds, so I'm going to put some whacking big strong dark clouds in and let these sunflowers glow underneath. So there's my acrylic inks in my little box to the right, and there's my palette of acrylic ink set out with a big wash brush, some water, and the pastels underneath ready to go, my unisons. And Vera has the same across there with the pastels behind her, and she'll share the inks in a moment. So the first thing for me to do is to wet the paper, and we've got a spray down there to keep it sprayed as well, because remember, the inks when they dry cannot be moved, unlike watercolour. So whilst we're working, if we want it to be fluid, we have to keep it fluid, and having just the right amount of water is vital. Spray too much and the whole thing starts dribbling down the page, too little and it just dries out. Away we go. So I've got my spray, big one this time. I usually keep a little diffuser as well, but that's gone wrong on me, so I've taken a plant spray. But I want to use my big wash brush first, and the first thing I'm going to do literally is to, now I'm using a £140 Arches hot press, and Vera's got a finer knot paper. It's not too rough, so my brush has already got some muck on it, but that won't matter. We're doing this technique in either watercolour or pastel. The vital thing is to make the paint really much stronger, the colour much stronger than you anticipate. Because if you use watercolour especially, and you try and use this technique, and you don't make the watercolour very strong, the pastel looks abysmal over it. It looks like a sore thumb. So we want to use the colour glowing through, and we don't paint out all of the acrylic ink underneath. The idea is to have broken colour and not lose all the stuff underneath. Now I've had people do this and they've only put 2 pieces of pastel on, and that's been it. They've loved it so much. They felt they haven't needed to do more than an abstract with it. So that bit first, and I've got my spray for after, so I won't need to use the brush anymore, although I can use the brush for drawing. Now, I haven't even bothered drawing out today. I'm just going to make this up. I can see I want some lovely big, I want the sky fairly high up, I want my sunflowers down here. So I'm going to go in with my lightest colours first, and nice and big. Let's have a look now. I want 1, 2, 3. I want a nice big sunflower here. 1, 2, 3. There's a golden bit of light coming across there. Then I've got the sky coming up. Even then I'm only just, I could have been a bit lower down, then. Next colour, wet into wet. Watch, it's drying all the time, so be careful. Got these lovely vibrant colours. This is just giving us this base coat. And it's dribbling down because we're painting vertically. It won't matter because we're going to put pastel on top. Darker in between. Now, what is the opposite, Vera? As you will know, I know I can ask you this without embarrassing you. What is the opposite to yellow in the colour circle?
Purple.
Yep. So, if we start putting some purple shadows in here, what's going to happen? It's going to be wow, isn't it?
Throughout.
So let's really, well, get this green going, and then I want to start putting purple shadows into there. Got some heads in the background here. I want to get those a bit wetter in a minute, so I'm going to come back into those with a bit more water. So it's much warmer in there, but I want some dark around there. So you say, it may be that you love the abstract so much you decide not even to bother going on with pastel, but we're going to whatever, or I'm going to whatever. You have a total choice in what you do, yeah? But it's good fun. Now, we've got the blues going in, and right to the back there. And again, you can see how it's come through there. Don't worry about that, because I say we can go in with a pastel. I want to keep those going wet. Now I'm going to come to my purples, and you'll suddenly see a huge difference. That's that bit done. Now let's come to the landscape. You think, well, I know, it's a lovely delicate sky. What's he going to do with the landscape? Now I can let that dry, and I can put a little wash over to lose those white bits in a minute. Now the landscape at the back, it's very blue, isn't it? So I want that lovely blue to start with. I'm going to use a little bit of yellow first for those distant hills, like that. Then I'm going to take my turquoise and drop that in. It's much stronger than you would expect, the whole. I'm going to make the whole painting much, much deeper, darker than you would expect, even for the distance, because I'm going to be able to put over later these pastels to make this look, to balance it out, make it look correct. So there's my distance. I want a little bit of mauve into there, so I'm going to touch my magenta would have actually been better here, but touch my mauve at the back here. Just bring those clouds, sorry, those shapes back there, and I want now some green coming right through here. See how opaque this is now. Some of the inks are much more transparent than others. I know what I've missed out though. Totally missed out the that lovely orange band of.
That's right.
So let's get that lifted out again, and we'll go back. I can do that with the pastel anyway. It's very forgiving. So I'll take my yellow, go right through there with that, right down to the flowers here. Go back in with the orange. So I'll take a little bit of the orange and just drop in this orange, and you think, what sort of a mess is that? But it's good fun.
Oh, that's good.
It's good fun, and we're going to be able to, well, it's far too much orange there, but don't worry about it. I'll come in and so we're getting brush marks that are about. We lose all of this white, don't want any of that white. Obviously, if you were doing it as an abstract, you might want the white, you might want to keep it, but I don't for this. Right.
No,
so
and
again,
it wouldn't be right.
from a distance, let's just get that sprayed. We'll just let that flow down. I'm going to let that dry now.
Lovely.
So you're away, you have fun. There's your 2 palettes of acrylic inks. You've got plenty there, I think.
Okay.
It's good fun, and it's. So I've got my usual set. I've got 2 sets of watercolour brushes here, but you can see I keep a good plethora of watercolour brushes, which I don't do the same with in oils or acrylics, because I don't need as many, but we need sensitive more.
In watercolour you do need
That's right,
a lot of brushes.
Right, so I'm going to start by going back to traditional and working from my sky downwards.
right.
That lovely big grey cloud we had has disappeared, but I do want to leave the underpainting showing. So using the side of the pastel, remember that if you blend, you're making things duller, so be careful not to blend too much, otherwise you'll dull things. Maybe a little bit warmer up here with the grey, so I want a slight warmer tint there. So I'm going to take a slightly warmer grey up here, and how that then plays against the blues in the background. And here we've got very dark trees against the light, so I'm going to bring that very deep blue here and really come quite dark against these trees here. And you see we're painting now with highlights. Get some lovely effects, yeah? Good fun, isn't it? Bit of green in the background there. Right, working my way down now. I've got these lovely light, I think that is rape actually. That is rapeseed there, yeah.
That
So we've got
needs
these
to be very
golden
golden.
colours. So we're going to come to yellows and yellow ochres. I'm going to just start off with, but there's still green in there. So we mustn't forget it doesn't just one colour. It's very rapid, this technique. We can paint a picture.
Isn't it? Yeah.
We can paint a picture in minutes. And it's also, I mean, it's like watercolour. If you had your watercolours with you, strong, say Russian watercolours, and you only had the pastels and you only had the watercolours and you only had your watercolour techniques, and you were going abroad with a plane, you could do almost everything you wanted with.
Yeah, I have a very
Now look at this, isn't that lovely? You see it? I mean, that really is starting to glow now. Even I'm pleased with that. Yeah. And that takes some doing. But that's coming now beautifully. We're getting some lovely colour amongst that.
I like
Right
that
down
because
through
you don't need
But it
them
looks
all
like a kid's
facing you, do
painting.
you?
It looks like a kid's painting if you
Yeah,
don't do the ellipses.
otherwise
They're all
naive.
facing you. It just doesn't look natural,
No.
you know. So if we use what nature has to offer us and take from it, don't be arrogant and think we can do better, because as long as we take from it and use it, not copy it, but use it, and it's creative. Now one sunflower comes across another there. That's quite important. Vera was just saying we don't just want a load of heads all evenly spaced out as if they're regimental soldiers. It just doesn't happen like that in nature. Really look for colours and exaggerate them slightly. You see how that's vibrating, that lovely blue there now against the red, and that's giving me those planes, giving me the vibrance of the this is what Monet was about, playing one colour against another so that the brain is fooled, or the eye is fooled with broken colour, and we can make the warm seem warmer, the cool seem cooler by putting one against another. You see, I've got all the abstract colours still in there. I haven't taken them out. I haven't blocked it all in and lost all the beautiful work I've done. I've kept in keeping. I want to come back to my lightest yellows now. I'm going to wash that because otherwise I'm going to come to watercolour next time and forget that that stuff's on there and whoops. Right, very light yellows now. What have I got? I've used that one already, haven't I? Yeah, that's a darker yellow. Let's try if we can get some creams going on the ends here. Burnt umber. Burnt umber, raw umber. Raw umber is a greeny brown. Burnt umber with the word burnt, like burnt sienna. Sienna was the earth from Sienna, so it was burnt earth from Sienna. Now it's different, but if it's burnt, it tends to be warmer. And the ordinary raw umber is greener. Oops.
Beautiful colour.
Well, I'm going to keep mine at that because I think I've done enough. That will do me. Yeah, that's nice. Coming on well. Look at that lovely texture of that flower there, for instance.
These wedding guests do sometimes.
So there we go. Bit like Van Gogh's
Yeah.
textures of sunflowers in a way.
It gives you. I still have to do something with that for me.
Yeah.
With that lovely colour you have.
Oh, you've got some lovely things happening there. This, I think, is your finest painting this holiday. You're getting better and better and better with me, but you're really loosening up now on this. Yeah, this is a lovely picture.
I love the technique.
Yeah, and it's very strong. It is really. Yeah, I think you should go this direction. Yeah.
It is.
Pastel, the acrylic's nice, but this really day for Vera here. And she's really found her feet towards the end here, getting into her acrylics and so on. But today, with this water and pastel and acrylic ink, she's gone way over the top and is doing a lovely piece. This lovely French cruise countryside. So you enjoyed that, haven't you?
Thoroughly. That was a lovely experience.
It's the best one you've done, and it's really strong. We'll put this and you up on Facebook because this is a lovely photograph, Vera. And what a way to end your week, eh?
Very good.
Right, let's get back home then. Well, Vera and Steve, we've come to the last day of our trip. You leave tomorrow morning. And it's been lovely having you. Very different for us all, which is smashing. We've had some fantastic music and some good food and some nice times together. And Vera's ploughed ahead with her painting. Now I'm going to let you both just tell other people how you found the week. And hopefully you can say something to them that will maybe tempt them to come over themselves and join us. Hopefully you'll come back as well. That's another thing for me, but you know.
Absolutely. Yeah, why not? I've had a wonderful time with Peter. Great host, and weather's been wonderful. I've painted and listened to the music, and it's been a fabulous week. Wouldn't have missed it for the world. Certainly like to come back sometime. And hope to encourage my friends to come.
That'd be nice, yes. I mean, there's something for everybody, isn't there? All ages, of any ability here.
Absolutely.
You know.
And the relaxed atmosphere is great.
That's what I like to feel, that the house is yours. We become part of a family, that we become friends, you know, yeah.
I think you have to do it, what they call en famille, which is lovely.
And it's been really nice for me. I haven't painted, but I've played my guitar.
Well, that's something else. We've got now a guest who's come along as a friend, well, his father and mother and son, and you've managed to go cycling most of the week, so it isn't just a place for the painters to come. It's a place for couples to come. It's a place to relax, do different things. I can find different things for you. And I even wondered about fathers and sons coming, you know, those that are divorced bringing their son for an adventure week and fishing and all sorts, yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Perfect for them. Yeah, and it's very, very relaxing, and you've hardly passed another car on the road when it's been out.
2 cars a day, it's busy, isn't it? Yeah.
And the roads are really nice. Cycling's great actually, because it's not flat, but it's not mountainous. It's nice and
Just for me, I couldn't do that.
Yeah, that's right. It's not too mountainous, as you say. There's other parts much more.
Well, we should keep in touch, and maybe I'll even come and see you down in Devon sometime, which would be nice. And we'll see where life goes. Definitely must all keep in touch anyway, yeah. Right, let's put this up onto the world to see then.